Welcome to another episode of Educating Homebuyers, the podcast. I'm your host, Brady Hay, and my mortgage team has over 9 years of mortgage experience here in Des Moines, Iowa. Whether you're buying your first home, upgrading, investing, or simply just curious about the market, this show is all about helping you and future homebuyers feel informed, educated, and comfortable as you take your next step. Each week, I sit down with real estate professionals, past clients, and local experts to unpack real stories, real advice, and what you actually need to know when buying a home today. Without further ado, let's get into today's episode. Today's guest brings a grounded, competitive perspective shaped by small-town roots right along the Mississippi River, where eastern Iowa meets western Illinois. As the youngest of 4 boys, competition was a part of everyday life. That edge carried from high school into college football, where at Grandview, where he won back-to-back national championships. Discipline, teamwork, and accountability became second nature to him there. Those experiences shape how he focuses and shows up today, both coachable and committed to doing things the right way. Now he's bringing that mindset into the mortgage world as the newest loan officer of our Key Mortgage Group team. Tucker Dickherber, welcome to Educating Homebuyers.
Brady, hey, thanks for having me on.
How are we, buddy?
Excited to be here.
Second week on the job, and I've got you on the pod already.
No better time than the present.
Are we nervous?
No, not too bad.
Feel good?
Feel pretty good.
Well, listen, man, first off, I'm excited to have you on the team. It's been a natural fit since the first time I've ever met you. Like, you fit in with our crew, but I'm excited to see where you can take this mortgage thing, you know? And I think that's the coolest part of the position that I'm in, is get to like help mentor you and show you the ropes of this career, by also helping, you help me stay a little bit youthful too, which is always good. So I'm an old man now, but
yeah, no, I'm genuinely super pleased with the guys in that office and Haley too, not just guys, but
yeah, no kidding. Shout out Haley.
Just feel like I fit in right away, honestly.
Yeah.
And that's a big kudos to you guys for having me in there, taking me in when you did, letting me learn alongside you guys. So I'm super appreciative of it.
Yeah. We think that culture is one of the biggest values that we have, combination of like, we like to have a good time and we're fun people, but there's a flip of that where we're incredibly professional and we execute for our clients first. That always comes first, right? And this career is really, really fun because you get to make a genuine impact on people's lives, helping them buy a house and get the financing for that and feel comfortable with that decision. That's a big thing, right? So we get to make that impact, but we also, on the flip side, get to have a team that we love working with and get to have some fun along the journey. So kind of the best of the both worlds.
Yeah, no doubt. I've said it before to you guys. It really feels like I'm still in a locker room.
Yeah.
With the aspect of when it's time to get things done, you guys get things done.
Yeah.
And when it's time to have a little bit of fun, take the load off a bit, we're able to do that too. So
yeah, super
familiar feeling for me, and that's kind of what I was looking for the entire process when I was just trying to find what I wanted to do in my career path. So I couldn't be happier with it.
I love it. Well, let's start off with this because I always like to do this with my guests. I'd love to give you an opportunity. Give everybody that's listening a background on, and I give your intro obviously, but give everybody a background into how, where'd you grow up? What did school look like? Kind of your, who is Tucker, and how has that led to here today?
Yeah, so I grew up way western Illinois in a village called Albany, Illinois.
Okay.
Ended up going to high school in Comanche, which is right across the river, Comanche, Iowa.
Okay.
So I went there for 4 years. I just went there for my high school years. I played 4 sports there, was in some different clubs, made some really good friends along the way.
Yeah.
My oldest brothers, they played football at Grandview.
Okay.
So I knew that was kind of a route that could interest me.
Okay.
Because I knew the older I got, the more I kind of fell in love with it and,
Sure.
and knew that was the route I wanted to take. It kind of seemed like a no-brainer to follow that up.
Yeah.
And with the program they have over there.
Yep.
So when I made that decision, I obviously moved out here freshman year of college. Was able to be a part of some seriously fun squads.
Yeah.
Not just competitively, but just like the guys that I was with every day, roommates, teammates. I mean, it was all just, I really couldn't have asked for a better group of guys to be around. And
totally.
I genuinely think that's what translated the success on the field, is the guys just love being around each other so much.
Yeah.
And it made it so easy on us showing up every day, doing the things that a lot of people don't want to do and the hard things. And when the season gets long, when you're able to look to your left and right and genuinely love the people that you're with, it makes a huge difference.
Well, it doesn't even feel like work then, right? Like, you were busting your ass at 2-a-day workouts and, all the extravagant stuff that they put you through. And it probably was so much easier because you were with your brothers that were doing it along with you. And you get to banter and have a good time too, right? Like, that's always a fine mix of like, hey, we're going to work hard, but we're going to have fun while we do it, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly correct. It was, you did everything you had to do, and once you did that, then you were able to explore the other options, other things. And it was kind of understood that until you did that, I mean, you weren't able to do the other things.
Sure.
And everybody understood that. And there was no lapse in judgment in that aspect.
Yeah.
If you weren't willing to do what we needed to do to get where we wanted to be, then you weren't able to do what we wanted to do when it was time to do that. So that's kind of the way we all went about things, and obviously it paid off for us.
Yeah, so back-to-back national champions is not a small feat, by the way. Like, that's impressive that you guys were able to pull that off. Talk to that a little bit. How did that, like, really become life? How did that become a reality? What were some things that you can credit to that program as to why you saw as much success as you did?
The players, the coaches. I know it's a super cliche response, but it's just like I mentioned before, it was a different feel. And I've always kind of been around success in the sports world. Just growing up, I've like I said, I've been around some really good classmates that were good at their things too. It helped me succeed.
Sure.
But there was a different level in respect that people had for each other, people had for the coaches, people had for the work that you did every day.
Yeah.
And it translated, and there's no really other way to say it. Like I've mentioned this to you before, like, it's much different than the mortgage world in the aspect of you saw your success every day.
Yeah.
You knew you were successful if you went out and won on Saturdays.
Yeah.
And the mortgage space is a little bit different, right? It comes long term. And I think that we all knew that the success was going to come and we were going to see it because of what we did with each other. And it just became second nature to got to the point where it felt like we were going to win.
Yeah.
And because we knew that we were doing what we had to do. And the wins kept coming. And then you get the one title, which felt mind-blowing, like, at the time.
Yeah.
And then things shifted, and we had a lot of guys come back, and then immediately it turned to, all right,
got to do it
time
again
for number 2. And I think that we may have done things in the wrong way. A lot of people would think in the aspect of, we all knew it was you won the title again or you failed. And you say that to a regular college football team, that's a hard thing to, understand. But we knew that if we didn't get number 2 last year, something went wrong.
Yeah.
And like I said, that's a big concept to grasp.
Right.
But that's the way we thought about it. And every week it was like, that's kind of what helped us not get complacent, because it was like every week you had to take another step.
Yep.
And you knew if you had a poor game, did you not just take another step? Because if you didn't, you're not heading in the right direction.
Right.
And if you don't get number 2, the pressure's there. So eventually we ended up getting number 2, and everything was fine, right? And the guys that are still over there, they're working towards number 3, and they understand what needs to be done. There's enough good guys coming back that they understand how to get there.
No doubt.
I mean, best of luck to them as well.
Yeah, no doubt. How do you think, if you were to take that lesson right there that you learned, how do you think, or what's your plan to integrate that into your future mortgage career that you're now just starting, ground zero basically?
Yeah, just show up. I literally just show up and keep going and keep going. And like I just mentioned, and we've talked about plenty of times, you're not going to see it right away. And if you're looking for something where you're going to see success right away, this might not be the career path for you. But that's not something I'm worried about. Yeah. It took me, I didn't start at Grandview till I was a senior. It took me 4 years to mold that, Sure. So I'm familiar with the concept of you just have to keep showing up. Yeah. And trust that the work that I put in and the help that you guys are going to give me and have given me already, it's going to work, right? For sure. You guys are successful in your career paths because you guys do what needs to be done every single day. Yep. Now, I've done that for so long in football. Yep. The way I see it, the energy has to be transferred, and you fall in love with the mortgage space like you fall in love with football. Yep. Right? Or like, everybody has these different loves, and mine was football for so long, and I genuinely think it can be work now. Yeah. And I say work, it's because it's like I get to go in there every day and see you guys smiling, having a good time because you're helping people. Right. And it's giving you a reason to, be so happy. And that's why I'm just so excited to fall in love with it myself. And just every day just do what needs to be done. And I have confidence that it's going to figure itself out. I think what I would tell you, and I think you already know this, is like falling in love with doing it for someone else, not yourself. So when you showed up to practice, you weren't showing up because you wanted to be the best defensive player so that you could win all the awards. You showed up for your teammates so that you guys could all be champions together, right? And it's the same aspect in the mortgage world as we show up every morning because my clients deserve me to be there for them. They deserve me to communicate at a high level. My business partners and referral partners deserve me to execute for a 10 out of 10. Like that to me is where the shift is because it's not about me. It's about the people that I get to interact and help with. And I would tell you, as much as yes, it can take some time to build this career, you can have some success early too. And what we need to do now is getting you in front of people as early as possible, which is where hopefully this will help with that.
if you guys know Tucker and you're listening to this, like, and you know anybody that's looking to buy or sell real estate, that's what we need to do, is make sure they know to reach out to you first. Right. And I actually talked about this on last week's episode as well, but you might not have a ton of experience, but guess what? Your team does, right? And we're going to help you make sure that you execute for your clients so that it's a 10 out of 10 experience. And eventually, the more interactions you have and the more opportunities you're given, the higher success rate you're going to have and the better the experience for your clients. So develop your process, learn from those of us that are at the office already, and you will have success quicker than you realize.
Yeah, that's, obviously the goal, right? Like we want to jump out the gates. We want to go running right away. And if it's able to be that way, no qualms on my end, right? And like you just mentioned, I also trust that if I do what you guys are helping me do, and I do what I say that I'm going to do, I think it can come.
Totally.
A lot of people, it just doesn't right away. And if that happens, that's completely fine either way. But you have to attack every day the exact same way,
no doubt about
whether
it.
you see that success right away or not. And I think that's something that I've learned through other aspects of life that I have to translate into the business. If I don't translate it, I'm losing a part of myself.
I would agree.
So that's a mindset that I'm glad that I've learned. And I'm excited to put it to use every day.
No doubt. I think one of the more impressive things that I've, just watching you in your few weeks, and I guess probably a couple months technically since you started hanging out with us more often, but one of the most impressive things that you did is you went and took the test right away and you passed that thing first try, which is a kudos to you, because it's not easy to get your mortgage license and be a licensed originator, and you passed that thing first try. I'd love to, and not to get into laws and rules and regulations and stuff, but I would love to have you share, like, what's some things that you took from that test and you learned that, you think maybe that it would be beneficial for a home buyer to hear?
Yeah, I think the main thing was that I wouldn't say that I'm scared to fail at things. I understand that failure comes, but I'd tell you that I wasn't going to fail. Yeah. And I
still remember how hype you were the night before.
Yeah, I consistently told everybody I was around, I'm not going to fail. Yeah. It to me, it felt like it wasn't a possibility. Yeah. I couldn't do it, right?
But on that note, the reason you didn't fail is because you put in the work before you went to take that test. Right. You studied hard. Yeah. I know you did. I seen your notebook.
I was in the office for a month.
Something like that. Yeah. And we might have pushed you to take it a little earlier than you were probably originally going to, but I think now looking back, like, man, how glad are you that you knocked that thing out?
Excellent decision by you guys. But like I said, every day I approached studying, and it was crazy how it kind of succumbed to me. Like, I've told this before, I would go home at night and I would be making dinner or something, and I had to put in an AirPod or throw on a TV like a studying video. Yeah. It was unlike anything that's ever happened to me.
You fell in love with RESPA and Tilla.
It was unbelievable. Regulation X, I couldn't stop thinking about it. I actually had like nightmares leading up to the test that I failed it. Right. And that's clearly a not real experience. It was a dream, right? And I woke up the next morning and I was like, no, not happening. Yep. So it kind of just
you were at the testing center an hour before you were supposed to be there.
I was ready, and they let me go in early, and I was able to crank it out. And no, I was just super excited for it. Honestly, I was just so excited to get into the industry to work with you guys. Yeah. That it felt like if I didn't go in there and pass it first try, I wasn't letting myself down. Right. I know that people fail.
Yeah, no doubt.
And it's probably more common not to fail the first one, but I felt like I was going to let you guys down, and I know that's not the case. You guys all, were respectful about anything that would have came my way. Yeah. But that's just not the approach I took.
Well, here's what I would tell you is, like, worry about yourself, though, because, like, this is your business you're building. We're here to help you support it, right. Help support you grow and teach you how to do this. But at the end of the day, you're showing up for you, but more importantly, you're showing up for your people. So when you share this video, anybody that's watching this, taking the time to learn about Tucker's mortgage business, like, those are the people that we want to show up for every single day. We're just here to help you navigate that, right? And so my hope is that anybody watching this and, they see this and are thinking about buying a house or know anybody that is or needs to refinance, call Tucker, because he'll be able to execute this for you. And he's going to put in the work to make sure that it's a good experience for your people, right? So that's where we're at now, is like we need to develop that process so that you're confident to be able to execute on that, right?
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. I kind of see it as if I'm willing to put in these hours for a test, right? Yeah. Like 125 questions about things that matter. Don't get me wrong. Regulations matter. Don't quote me on that. They don't. But if I'm willing to do that to get answers right, what can I do for a person? Yeah. And another approach that I want to take to this business, and I may be naive, and you can help me out here if this is wrong. I understand that people say you shouldn't get personal with business, and it's a tough thing to mesh. I don't see a reason why every single person that I help, I can't look at as a friend.
Yeah.
That's the approach I want to take to it.
Totally agree.
I think that that's what people want. They don't need their loan officer to be some intimidating dude that they're like you mentioned before, scared to reach out to. That's not what I want to do.
Yep.
I want them to feel so comfortable with me. If they go buy a dog, they tell me, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like it's just the approach I want to take.
Yep.
And it's how I feel like I've always kind of been. I've always just kind of took a unique look at things. Like, you can be successful and work really, really hard.
Yeah.
And still be yourself, and you don't have to change. You don't have to become some intimidating figure that you're not.
Yep. Totally
right?
agree.
And just like you are, right? You grind all day long. You're super successful. But what's different about you every morning when you show up? When I walk in and see you, nothing's different.
Yeah.
It's the same Brady. Hey, I can't let that change.
Well, that's a big difference on like why, and I've been very transparent about this, but like I will never be the guy that's going to show up in a suit and tie, right? Like that's just not, I'm not comfortable. It's not who I am. I'm going to be authentic to me. And I would ask you to do the same and do that for your clients because they need consistency. I would tell you that I've struggled with that. Just being more consistent every day, and you're going to be good at that because you showed up for your football team. Like that's something you've kind of instilled in yourself, but like it's hard to be consistent 365 days out of the year. Even just like a personality or like the way your mental game is, like it's not easy to execute that every single day, but it's what our people deserve. And to your point, I think that this job really does have to become a lifestyle, right? Like people have to know us as like, oh, that's the mortgage guy, because that's the way that, our business grows. We don't work at a bank. People aren't walking in our front door looking for a home loan. Like the only way we get opportunities to help people is if they find out from someone else. And so we have to develop the process so that when somebody gets a home loan with us, they want to tell all their friends and family. And we need to make sure that your marketing is strong enough so that everybody that already knows you knows to reach out, right?
Yeah, I hope that people also see that if you've known me before, that's still who I am.
Yeah.
And all these posts and everything, you see me as the mortgage lender now. I'm still Tucker.
You just Tuck.
It's
big
no
Tuck,
different. Yeah, it's no
big
different.
Tuck in the boots.
It's no different than any other time I've ever met you.
No
right?
doubt.
But I'm willing to do something for you now that maybe you wouldn't be able to experience. And I think this business also so similarly to football is the harder you work and the better you do, the more opportunities you earn. Right. So everybody knows if you kick butt for them and you put out a great product for them and they enjoy it, you're going to get more business.
No doubt.
If you work really hard and you show up every day in football and you win your games, you're going to get more games.
No doubt.
You're going to play until you can't anymore.
Right.
So that's kind of the another approach I want to take to it is like, it's going to come, right? If you're willing to make it successful.
You'll hear me say this tomorrow when the consultation you're going to listen in on that I'm going to have, but the consultation that I have set up, I have this 10 commandments that I share with all my clients that I meet with. And the last one on there is don't forget to tell all your friends and family about me. That's one of the 10 commandments that you have to follow if you're going to work with me, right? But the caveat that I always include in there is I can't earn that if I don't execute for you first. So every single one of my clients and opportunities I get, obviously I want them to share my name with all their friends and family, but they can't feel like they want to do that if I don't execute at a high level for them first. And that's the way I hope it is like, I hope that you are so satisfied by the time the process is done. You want to leave me a 5-star review and tell everybody they need to work with me. Pretty simple, but we have to execute it first.
Yeah. You got to make sure you do that first. You can't put you can't put the
horse before the
you got to put the horse before the cart.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like you said, you got to produce first, right? You can't go out asking for someone to do something they don't feel strongly about.
Yeah.
But if you get a good experience, you feel strongly about it, right? So
and I would tell you it all starts with developing what that experience looks like, right? And you'll learn that from us, but like finding things that we can do differently that our competition doesn't, that makes us different, that makes the experience better for our people. Like that's really the heart of it and where it goes. So I'm excited for you, dude. I think this is going to be an incredible opportunity. I hope that you fall in love with it like the rest of us do. I think that it's something that, can be really fruitful. And my hope is that if anybody's watching this and Tucker is, like I said, give him a chance, give him an opportunity to represent you and know that he's still learning, right? And there's going to be ebbs and flows. And, I know you said you have a consultation with a potential client tonight already, which kudos to you for that. But give him some grace and allow him to, kind of test the waters on you and make sure that he develops his process. And, the more people that can trust you, the better you're going to get over the years. So just lean on your peers, interact with more people. If you're a realtor watching this and you don't want to work with me, work with him, because obviously I want you to work with me, but Tucker's going to be great. He's a part of the crew, and I'm excited to see where you can take this career. So
I appreciate that, man. I'm excited.
I love it. Well, thanks again for tuning in, everybody. This has been another episode. If you guys have any other questions, be sure to drop a comment, and we'll see you guys next time.